Nvidia isn't just winning the AI race, it might be unbeatable. This isn't just about making computer parts. It's about building the very engine that powers our collective future. And right now, they are the only ones with the keys. Their dominance is built on one core piece of technology that started life with a very different purpose. It's a specialized processor originally designed to make video games look beautiful and run smoothly. This chip is called a graphics processing unit, or GPU. Its unique design was accidentally perfect for the massive calculations required by artificial intelligence. These GPUs are masters of multitasking on a scale that is difficult to comprehend. Unlike a standard computer chip that solves one or two problems at a time, a GPU tackles thousands of problems all at once. A regular chip is a single brilliant rocket scientist solving a complex equation. A GPU is an entire army of mathematicians working on thousands of smaller equations simultaneously. For AI that learns from enormous mountains of data, parallel processing isn't just an advantage, it's a necessity. It's the difference between learning a language in a year versus a century. This architectural edge converts directly into speed, the currency of AI development. The AI models changing our world, the ones that can write, create art, discover new medicines, require immense computational power to be trained. They are fed colossal datasets, and Nvidia's chips chew through that data faster and more efficiently than anything else. Competitors are trying to build chips to compete, but they aren't just chasing hardware. They're chasing years of head start, innovation, and market entrenchment. The chip's raw performance is only the first layer of Nvidia's fortress. The technology doesn't exist in a vacuum. It is the heart of a larger system Nvidia built around it. They didn't just sell the engine, they built the entire car, the highways, the gas stations, and wrote the driver's manual. This complete package turns a powerful chip into an indispensable tool, making switching to a competitor daunting and almost impractical for the thousands of developers who now depend on it. Beyond the silicon itself, Nvidia's true secret weapon, a seemingly invisible but overwhelmingly powerful advantage, its software. This software is a platform called CUDA. Pause. Visualization. Lines of code flowing into a central GPU icon, creating a protective barrier. Simply put, CUDA is the special language that unlocks the full parallel processing power of Nvidia's GPUs. Over the past decade and a half, Nvidia has poured billions into developing it, making it robust, easy to use, incredibly efficient. It has become the default language for AI development, the lingua franca of the entire industry. This isn't a small detail. It's the entire game. Imagine if one company invented the electric motor, owned the only network of charging stations, and employed all the best mechanics. That's the position Nvidia is in with CUDA. An entire generation of AI researchers and engineers has been trained on this platform. They think in CUDA. Their projects are built on CUDA. Switching to a competitor's chip would mean rewriting mountains of code and retraining entire teams. That is a massive, expensive, risky undertaking. This software ecosystem acts as a deep and wide moat around Nvidia's castle. At the same time, the demand for these chips has exploded into a global frenzy. It is an insatiable hunger that shows no signs of slowing down. Every major technology company, from the giants of cloud computing to the smallest, most ambitious AI startups, is desperately trying to get their hands on more Nvidia GPUs. They need them to train their next-generation models, to power their cloud services, and to stay competitive in a landscape that is evolving at a breakneck pace. This isn't just a corporate gold rush. It's a foundational shift impacting every sector: healthcare, finance, manufacturing, scientific research. This overwhelming demand creates a powerful feedback loop. The scarcity of their top-tier chips allows Nvidia to command premium prices, generating staggering profits. But this isn't just about getting rich. Those profits are immediately funneled back into an immense research and development budget, allowing them to design even more powerful chips and more sophisticated software. Dominant product leads to huge demand, which leads to massive profits, which funds next-generation dominance. This cycle continuously widens the gap between Nvidia and everyone else. They are not just winning today's race, they are funding their victory in tomorrow's. Another critical and often overlooked reason for Nvidia's dominance lies in its mastery of the global supply chain. The hyper-advanced chips that power our digital world are not made in just any factory. They are produced in a handful of highly specialized manufacturing plants called foundries, Taiwan's TSMC being the most important. These foundries are technological marvels, costing tens of billions of dollars and taking years to build. The capacity to produce the most advanced chips is therefore extremely limited. It's a finite, precious resource. Nvidia understood this reality years ago and acted decisively. Nvidia operates as a fabless company, meaning it designs the chips but outsources the physical manufacturing. This model allows it to focus all its energy on design and innovation. But its true genius lies in the deep, long-term partnerships it has forged with these foundries. Nvidia works hand in glove with TSMC, co-optimizing its chip designs with their manufacturing processes. More importantly, it books its production capacity far in advance, paying huge sums to secure its place at the front of the line. It's like booking every primetime slot on a television network for the next year, leaving competitors to fight over the leftovers. This strategic foresight gives Nvidia a massive supply advantage. While rivals are still finalizing their designs or scrambling to find available production space, Nvidia's next-generation chips are already rolling off the assembly line. In a market where speed is everything, getting your product to customers 6 months or a year ahead of the competition is a decisive, often fatal, blow. Competitors find themselves in a perpetual state of catch-up, announcing chips that might look good on a slide deck, but are nowhere near mass production, while Nvidia is already shipping its next big thing by the millions. This creates a brutal reality for anyone trying to challenge the throne. Even if a competitor like AMD or Intel designs a chip that can, in theory, match or even beat an Nvidia GPU on a specific task, they face the monumental hurdle of getting it made at scale. They might find that the foundry capacity they need is already reserved by Nvidia for the next 18 months. This bottleneck is not an accident. It is a core part of Nvidia's strategy. It has built a fortress not just of silicon and software, but of logistics and supply, ensuring that even the most promising challengers are starved of the resources they need to mount a serious attack. When you place all these pieces together, the gap between Nvidia and its competitors looks less like a gap and more like a chasm. Rivals are not just fighting on one front, they are fighting on 4. They need a competitive chip architecture. They need a mature software ecosystem to rival CUDA. They need guaranteed access to cutting-edge manufacturing. They need the trust of a market accustomed to Nvidia's reliability. Succeeding in one of these areas is incredibly difficult. Succeeding in all of them at the same time, while your opponent is accelerating away from you, is a nearly impossible task. Look at the competition. Intel, AMD. Both are pouring billions into AI chip efforts. They have brilliant engineers and deep pockets, yet they remain years behind. Their software platforms are still in their infancy compared to CUDA, lacking the vast library of tools and the massive community of developers that Nvidia has cultivated over 15 years. They are making progress, but the finish line keeps moving further away. For customers, the choice is between a proven, complete system that works today versus a promising but incomplete alternative that might work tomorrow. Most choose today. The challenge is compounded by time itself. The design cycle for a new, cutting-edge chip can take 2 to 3 years from concept to production. By the time a competitor's Nvidia killer finally hits the market, Nvidia is often already launching its next, even more powerful generation of GPUs. It's a relentless pace that leaves very little room for others to gain ground. This creates a self-perpetuating cycle of loyalty. Customers who build their infrastructure on Nvidia's platform are hesitant to switch, because the cost and risk of migrating their entire software stack are enormous, especially when the promised benefits of a rival chip might be obsolete by the time they finish. This dynamic has profound consequences for the entire technology landscape. With one company holding such a commanding lead on the fundamental building block of modern AI, it gains an incredible amount of influence. It can effectively steer the direction of AI development, prioritizing certain types of research and applications that best suit its hardware. Startups and even large corporations can find their fates tied to their ability to procure Nvidia's latest chips. This concentration of power reshapes markets, influences innovation, and ultimately gives a single corporate entity a powerful voice in dictating the trajectory of our shared technological future. Nvidia's position transcends simple market leadership. When one company supplies the picks and shovels for a gold rush, it does more than just profit. It shapes the very landscape of the territory being explored. It has the power to influence which AI models get built, which scientific problems get solved, which companies succeed or fail. Early access to Nvidia's next-generation hardware can give a research lab or a startup an insurmountable advantage, effectively allowing Nvidia to pick winners and losers. This is a level of influence that few companies in history have ever achieved. Of course, no empire is eternal. Nvidia faces real risks. A geopolitical shock could disrupt its vital supply chain. Aggressive new regulations from the United States, Europe, or China could seek to curb its power. A completely new, revolutionary computing architecture could emerge from a university lab, making GPUs obsolete overnight. But these are, for now, distant threats. The company has proven to be incredibly agile, navigating complex geopolitics and consistently out-innovating its challengers. Its deep integration with its customers and its relentless R&D spending create a powerful inertia that is difficult to stop. For those trying to compete, the path forward is brutally steep and expensive. They cannot just build a better chip, they must build a better ecosystem. This requires a decade-long commitment of tens of billions of dollars in investment, hardware design, software development, community building, forging deep relationships with foundries and customers. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Everyone else is just leaving the starting block. Nvidia is already halfway to the finish line, building water stations along the way that only its runners can use. Nvidia's lead is not a fluke. It is a fortress constructed brick by brick from brilliant chip design, a visionary software strategy, insatiable market demand, a masterful command of the global supply chain. These blocks reinforce each other, creating a structure so tall and so strong that no one else can currently see over the top. For the foreseeable future, the road to artificial intelligence runs directly through Nvidia's front door. This isn't competition, it's control.